So there was a poll that was put up by relationship coach Shams Giwa, and amazingly, well, not amazing, because I'd always known this, that women, we are very hypocritical when polygyny is, on the table. We are very hypocritical. There are just very few genuinely honest women when it comes to polygyny. The ones who say, I want monogamy, I don't want polygyny. They do not want it for themselves, and they will not be the sabbath for which another woman would be experiencing polygyny. You understand? So there are very few women like this. They don't hate it, but they just don't want to be involved in polygyny. And as much as they don't want it for themselves, they also do not want to be the reason why another woman would have to experience that sharing, which is by marrying a married man. Only a few women are this genuine. But you see, the bulk of us, no, we only don't like polygyny when we are the first wives. But if we are not the first wives, polygyny is okay. We have all the good reasons. Yes, polygyny can be this. Oh, Muslim women, stop stressing yourself. Allah made polygyny halal for a reason. That is when we suddenly know all the beautiful words to, beautify polygyny, to explain why polygyny was halal in the first place. But when we are first wives, it becomes a thing of, but why can't you just be okay with one wife? Really? Because look at this poll. You can see the number against the other number. Even non Muslim women voted heavily for polygyny against waiting for their own man. Now we'll say, but in the post they said 39, the lady is already 39, a single mother, the man is capable, the man is. Isn't that the benefits that polygyny has always been about? Which is there are vulnerable women in the society, the elderly women who have never been married or have been married before, the divorcees, the widows, or maybe the health challenged women, basically vulnerable women in the society. I would implore us, honestly, that we always ask ourselves, do we really not like polygyny, or do we selfishly like it? But we do not know. In the comment section, you see a lot of people, yes, since the man is capable, since the man is okay, why not? I would be the second wife. But now that you are a first wife, it's very difficult for you to understand that there are women in these vulnerable groups who are also open to being the second wife of your husband. That one is painful. So, no, that should not be acceptable, right? But it should be understandable and acceptable when it's you who is the vulnerable one that a man who has a wife should marry. I've said this a million times and I say it often and often and often again. Personally, I would choose monogamy any day, anytime over polygyny because I just love the simplicity of that particular structure. However, be open to polygyny. Pray that if it's already in your qadar, if Allah already has it written in your destiny that you would be a member of a polygynous home, pray that Allah makes yours one of the best. If you have the halal means to limit your man, that's fine, which is based on contracts. Because once he signs the contract that, okay, fine, monogamy, then that is what it is. Some say, oh, that means he's making halal haram. No, that nobody is making halal haram there. It's just limitation that, okay, I would not do polygyny, I would do monogamy. It's not saying, oh, I am now forbidding. Mm-mm. But based on this contract, I am agreeing that I will stick to monogamy. So go for it. But to go the extra mile on all the haram ways, all the unhealthy and toxic ways to keep monogamy, please don't stress yourself. It's not worth it. Pray for the kind of marriage you want. You want. If it's monogamy, ask Allah for it. And tell Allah that for as long as it's better for you in this world and in the hereafter. And if by His decree polygyny is better for you, Pray that yours should be amongst the best. Yours should be easy. Yours should be the type that when you even speak of it, people will say, "Na lie, there's no such polygyny existing," because it will be so good, so healthy to even be believed. This is my dua for myself. And I'm not saying it's the standard. Like I said, I'll choose monogamy because I love the simplicity of the structure. But if it's in my qadar, let it be. And let it be good for me. But to say, oh, no, I don't want it, I hate it, no, it has to be only me, and you go back to be a man's second wife, having hated it while you were the first, I say we should review our sincerity. In the comment section, this lady said, "You are not far from the truth. We only frowned about it only when the man didn't do it rightly and discuss it from the onset, or when we are not first wife, we don't normally feel bothered about it." So you're only bothered because you're a first wife, but if you're not a first wife, you don't care. This one said, "The fact is women don't mind polygyny when they are the one going into it, but every first wife will always go against it, and that's just human nature." And I agree because I just said it now that I prefer monogamy too. So you see, it's my automatic, my default preference. But do not go the toxic ways to stop polygyny from happening or to frustrate a polygyny that has already happened. This particular comment caught my attention. The sister said, "Looking at the poll, a lot of women want to marry, but you don't want your husbands to marry another woman. Chai." So I responded, I said, "Polygyny is only bad when it's against them, but a great option went for them. Turn the tables and ask if they would understand why their husband would want a 39-year-old with a son as second wife and see the wonder of my gender." The other lady said, "You get it?" And this lady responded again. She said, "I still don't want to share my man, so I choose the first option," which is she chose the option of no, I won't. I will wait for my own man. Now, there are women like this. They just love monogamy, prefer it, and are willing to stick by monogamy. This is honesty enough. And I hope that we relax our stance on anti-polygyny. In spite of our love and preference for monogamy, relax your anti-polygyny stance because so many reasons validate women choosing to be subsequent wives. Almost every woman want their man to themselves because, like I said, there is simplicity in monogamy and it's just easy to manage compared to polygyny. This is true. I would choose a beautiful monogamy over a beautiful polygyny any day, anytime because I just love that simplicity. I don't like stress. I don't like I don't like having to deal with bulky things when I could deal with light things. So there is definitely that. But relax your stance. Let your stance entertain possibilities. It doesn't take away the pain, but it somehow allows you the ability to address the situation from a more relaxed and healthier viewpoint. And not just the angle of, oh, you're snatching my man, why can't you get your own? But you are 39 and suddenly you want to snatch someone's own too, right? Let's be honest in our stance and opinions. Assalamu alaikum.